Welcome this evening, ladies and gentlemen, to the July 18th, 5:30 Finance Committee meeting. I will at this time yield the floor to Chairman Westcott.
Thank you very much, Mayor, and welcome everyone. Item number 1 on our agenda this evening is consideration of a reimbursement request for the second quarter expenses for the 2024 from the Alliance for Workforce Development in the amount of $21,369. What is the will of the committee on number 1? Okay. Is any discussion on item number 1? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Those opposed? Motion carries. Item number 2 is discussion for the proposed solid waste agreement between the City of Russellville and Cards River Valley, sponsored by Trey Smith, City Attorney, and to him I yield the floor.
This was something that I've been speaking to Mr. Harpley about when we've been ironing out this agreement that would be coming up in the next 5 years. And they've objected to a stronger, what I would say, a penalty clause. And so my deal was bring it to y'all whether you want to even pursue this type of what I've termed as liquidated damages for non-performance on certain things for the carrier, or whether it's fine just to leave the old penalty phase or penalty clause in that's in the current contract and go from there.
What do you recommend?
Based on the last year with the current provider and some of the frustration that I believed I saw the council have, plus some of the questions about penalty clause within the current one, this was an attempt by myself to strengthen or give additional avenues for the city to have an enforcement mechanism that it didn't have before. So if it's something that's the council's interested in looking at, or maybe not to the extent to which I've written it up, but maybe paring it down, or just thinking that the contract penalty clause in the current one is sufficient, but given the last year from some of the meetings I saw with the Council on Waste Management, I thought maybe it was something to improve upon, which I did. So
I definitely agree we need to improve upon it. Is there an effort to try to possibly meet somewhere in the middle, Mr. Tarpley? Could we have maybe open up that discussion and maybe try to bring your team together and try to meet somewhere? Because I feel like Mr. Smith has got the city's best interest, and but we also are looking for a win-win. In my opinion, anyone else can chime in.
Well, I was just reviewing my notes when we had those work sessions, and Mr. Smith's exactly right. This is something that the council mentioned over and over again. We kept using the word teeth, more teeth in the contract. But I think that's a great idea for us to see if we can sit down and iron out, meet in the middle, or whatever. But I do appreciate Mr. Smith's attempts here, because that is exactly what we talked about.
Would the council be amicable to a work session to meet with Cards based on this contract to try to find that common ground?
Yes.
Certainly.
Everyone in good? So Mr. Tarpley, does that sound good to you, Mr. Smith?
that's fine.
Okay. We probably need to do this sooner than later. Let me see here. I apologize. Let me pull up my calendar here. Could we do it as early as next week? We do Tuesday. We do have a Civil Service and Airport Commission meeting. Would that interfere with anyone? Could you, Mr.
I can do it Tuesday.
I'm going to say I am unavailable next week, Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday.
Oh, Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday. Okay. How about Wednesday? Would Wednesday work for everyone to be able, possibly? Okay, so let's, Mr. Tarpley, you believe you can get your team together. Would it work for you, Mr. Smith?
Yes.
We do, is 5:30 good? So if we could do a 5:30 work session, we will do this in the downstairs conference room. I think it'd be the easiest to do an actual work session. Does anyone on the council object to that? So that we can have the cards team at the table with us. Okay, so 5:30, which is July 24th? Yeah, and so everyone, okay, awesome. We need to do anything else, Mr. Smith? Is that?
Clerk needs us to publish it.
Okay. So,
And if I'll send, there's, really what was sent out today is what we would need. And then I'll get the whole, I'll also get the rest of the contract that's been ironed out between myself and Mr. Harpley.
So what you put in here, what you sent me, is what I need to publish?
Yes, and then I'll send the contract, the proposed contract on top of that.
Is this gonna be on record that I'll need to do minutes on that day, or just a work session?
Work session, and we'll just do a
Okay.
tape.
I can't be there.
yeah, I think we can just record it and and have it available for public in the future.
Is there any further discussion regarding item number 2? Thank you. Moving on to item number 3 is consideration of a resolution that would authorize the mayor and city clerk treasurer to enter into an agreement with Johnson Consulting, the Historic Preservation and Interior Design LLC, to perform a historic resources resurvey of the Russellville Downtown Historic District and for other purposes. I would, if you'll permit me, call on our grant administrator, Kelly Dinkle. If you would, very briefly, tell us about number 3 here and what's going to come up on number 6.
Ever so often, a resurvey of the historic district is necessary to confirm that we have the fabric that ensures we are in compliance with the National Register. It's recommended by the Arkansas Historic Preservation Program, and the final outcome will be reported back to AHPP.
And on item number 6?
Number six is a resolution of support. I'm trying to apply for the 50/50 match grant again this year to do upgrades at our skate park, which will be a restroom addition and a beginner-friendly, youth-friendly skate area.
Nice, nice. Thank you very much. What is the will of the committee on number 3?
I move that we move item number 3 to the full council with the recommendation of due pass.
I'll second that. Is there any discussion on number 3? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Those opposed? Motion carries. Items number 4 and 4A. Number 4 is an appropriation request from the 2021 Sales Tax Capital Fund number 7, the sum of $373,662 to be used as a 50% down payment on contract signing for the complete refurbishment of ladder number 2 for the fire department. And number 4A is consideration of a resolution that would authorize, or actually accept a bid through Sourcewell from Fire Trucks Unlimited to completely refurbish that vehicle for the fire department in the amount of $747,324 on behalf of the Russellville Fire Department. It would also authorize the mayor and city clerk treasurer to enter into an agreement with that company for those services. I move that we forward items number 4 and 4A to the full council with a recommendation of approval.
Second.
Second by Mr. Keller. Any discussion on items number 4 and 4A? Anything from the fire department? Okay.
Just I do want to verbalize that we're letting the public know that we are saving almost $700,000 by refurbishing
Right.
this equipment. A new engine or a new ladder would cost us about $1.4 million at this time. That's currently, that's. Yep, so. Yes.
Right. Thank you, Chief. All those in favor say aye. Those opposed? Motion carries. Item number 5 is consideration of a resolution for the City of Russellville, Arkansas to accept a bid through Omnia Partners from Game Time, CO Cunningham Recreation, to purchase new playground equipment for Washburn Park on behalf of the Russellville Parks and Recreation Department in the amount of $129,825.58. It would authorize the mayor and city clerk treasurer to enter into an agreement with that company for that project. What's the will of the Finance Committee on number 5?
I move that we forward item number 5 to the full council with a recommendation of due pass.
Second. Any discussion on item number 5? Any comments from Mr. Thomas? Okay. Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Those opposed? Motion carries. Item number 6, and the final on our agenda, is consideration of a resolution that would authorize the mayor and city clerk treasurer, the finance director, the parks and recreation director, and the grants administrator to sign a grant application and associated paperwork with the Arkansas Department of Parks, Heritage, and Tourism for an outdoor recreation matching grant to be used for the construction of a Harmon Park Skate Park restroom addition, beginner-friendly skate park addition, and for other purposes. And I move that we forward item number 6 to the full council with a recommendation of approval.
Second.
Second by Mr. Keller. Any discussion on item number 6? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye. Those opposed? Motion carries. Mayor, that's the last on our agenda. I yield the floor back to you.
All right, well, we will adjourn the finance meeting and reconvene for a full council meeting at 6 PM.